What is up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Nexus Podcast. We are here again this week. We are discussing the potential placement of leaders at the Galactic Championships. Hope everyone is doing well. Thanks for everyone who has been watching our videos lately. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we're on that way to 1,000 subscribers. So today we are missing our good friend Krish. However, he has been replaced with a handsome photo.
That picture really caught me off guard.
Yeah, he is currently in the hyperbolic time chamber, preparing for Galactics.
That's right.
Training, getting older, getting bolder. But yeah, we will crack straight on with our normals and say, how are you doing, Emmy?
Heyo, I'm good. I'm enjoying this first week of set 5 officially. So looking forward to go and play locals on Thursday. And yeah, very excited to crack on with some Galactics predictions. Ollie, how are you feeling today?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to dive into Galactics because I'm the only one that's here now that's going.
Yeah, don't remind us. Jeez.
Just to rub it in.
Like, I'm kind of the only person in this podcast that's cool enough to go, but yeah.
But yeah, I've done like really not very much testing for it, so I'm a little bit underprepared. I think I'm like getting closer to figuring out which decks I might be taking, but yeah,
this is coming from a man.
We'll be fine.
This is coming from a man that specifically went to London to test. So you haven't.
How much? That was about the only testing that I've done, to be honest.
How much testing is too much? That is a question we're going to delve into maybe question. Later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're here to talk about predictions today.
Yeah.
It's very exciting. We have had, by the looks of things, like 5 or 6 tournaments worldwide so far with the new set.
Yeah, handful, really. So we're going to start with like some data, kind of like as a foundation.
Alrighty, so we are here. We are here with the tournament results. We have.
Ollie, are you surprised with these results? Obviously, there's
not particularly. I think some of the lower down ones, like once we start getting to like 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, there are a couple that like are a little bit more questionable, and I think it is a bit of a smaller tournament. It's only like 40 or 50 players, right? So like the thing that I'm questioning mainly is the Talzin Green, just because I've never really seen that before. But I imagine it's probably pretty good. But yeah, in general, like the top 8 seems pretty standard. I think Han2 Blue is going to be a force to be reckoned with, pun completely intended. And then there's the other decks, like there's the Guy yellows and the Vader 4 yellows, and the Sabini CL I think will be like the premier 3 aggro decks. And then yeah, we've got, Palpatine, the European special. The Americans aren't going to be ready for this deck at Worlds. And I think there'll be a good bit of representation from things like Palpatine. And then yeah, Cad Bane and Anakin are also going to be pretty solid as well.
Yeah, some of the regular customers, let's say. It doesn't look
pretty much.
It doesn't look that crazy. Do you know what I mean? It looks kind of like previous set results, bar this new other Talzin. Do you think that's a fair sort of estimate on how effective the new leaders are compared to the old ones?
I think so, yeah, because the new leaders, Talzin is pretty strong. It's nothing crazy, but it's decent. And similar sort of case with Obi-Wan. I know some people have been looking into Kylo a lot recently as well, or at least that seems to have shown up a lot more in the couple of games I've played on Carabast.
By a few people, do you just mean Krish?
Maybe Krish has been spreading the word. Maybe he's part of the reason behind it from our last episode.
Yeah.
but yeah, I think like those three leaders all have some pretty solid foundations to them, but they're nothing like particularly outstanding, right?
Let's quickly delve in then. Just have a look at sort of guessing these builds are pretty cookie cutter. What is it now that's making Han2 one of the top dogs? Because it fell off a bit, right, after it came out. It was still good, but it wasn't like the top dog. Now, from what I hear, a lot of people are saying it's the best.
Yeah, I mean, he had a resurgence after good results at Lille, and then I think that Han Green Data Vault and Han Blue towards the end of the last meta kind of became popular, and I think people were quick to put two and two together in terms of, hey, blue red heroism seems really strong. There's a clear force package that has massive payoff in red, and guess what? Playing it, ahead of curve is even better. There's also like some cards that just benefit from hand 2. So Ogdebogdo is one of the new ones, 5/5 that can come down turn 1. Swinging for 5 is just insane. And
that is nuts, especially considering you form the damage on it immediately as well. It's like,
so if you go first, so it's not force. So your opponent, like, you might not get like the force, and then you can't force throw immediately, but yeah, swinging for 5 is really strong.
Yeah, I mean a 5/3 on
1, yeah,
turn 1. That's unprecedented, really.
There's also the new Grogu, which can be a very strong turn 1, turn 2 play, that kind of just negates the downside of the Han2 leader and then puts it on the opponent's units. I don't think it's in this list, but
no, it's not.
It's another potentially strong option.
New Grogu, you can action heal 2 and deal 2 damage. So
what about this Interrant Warrior? I haven't really seen this be spoken about too much. It's a very defining card, or it seems pretty strong, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, it's just very efficient in the stats it has. I think like the when played skill is nice to get a bit of healing, but a 4-mana 4/4 shielded is good on its own, compared to a lot of the other 4-drops in the game right now. And in Han 2, you can play it as a 4-mana 4/2 shielded, so
yeah.
a 3-mana 4/2 shielded, which is also very good stats.
That's incredibly strong.
Yeah, the 4 attack is really important because all the new 2-drops have 4 health.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to remove them in one go, and this has potential to 2 for 1.
Yaddle's another card that keeps popping up everywhere. I mean, obviously,
really
it speaks for itself, right? It's 2/4.
Yeah, and most of the 2-mana 2/4s have the force trait as well, which is perfect for these force decks.
Yeah, so would you say 2/4s like the new standard 2-mana?
Yeah, probably.
That's what you're looking for. Yeah, there's
bit of a power creep, maybe a little one. It's definitely there. It's coming. So. And obviously we got the old favorites in here like Skywalker, Cassie.
Yeah, I think one thing to point out about this list is something that I've been looking at doing a lot, and I mentioned quite a lot in the last episode, was this Anakin Skywalker card at the top.
Yeah.
Champion.
Yeah, I've obviously I said last week that I was messing with this card in pretty much every deck that I could. And it looked like in this list as well, people have started just playing like off-aspect villainy cards. I think that deck had Force Lightning in.
Yes.
Just as a way to enable this card because it's just that strong. And I guess even stronger in Han 2, because like in general in this game, there are not that many strong 6-drops. So this really feels like a weak point that a deck like this would have had otherwise. Whatever deck that I end up taking to Worlds needs to have some sort of positive matchup into Han2 Blue. Ideally positive. I think I'd be okay if it was like 50-50, as long as I was then doing really well into a lot of the other decks. Because I don't think this is the level of like Django where Django is like very obviously tier 0 and you were kind of expecting to play like 50% of your rounds as Django. Yeah. But I do think Han2 Blue and Han2 in a lot of different forms, honestly, will show up in like an overwhelming majority of Worlds. I would not be surprised if Han2 Blue is the most represented deck.
I mean, that makes complete sense. I mean, but when you get to hyper competitive season, there hasn't been enough time to really test. And you know, from these early results, see that there is a clear advantage to playing this leader right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a lot of people will take the easy option, which I don't blame them. Of course, it's very difficult to choose as Ollie's probably going through.
Yeah, and especially when there's not that many tournaments that you have like data or results to base your choice on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll move now into our tier list. Oh, how did that get there? Already in tier 1. All right.
Let me kick it off.
Sure.
Well, the way we're gonna do this, we're gonna choose a leader each and position it, and then we're gonna like quickly talk through it. But since we talk a lot about Han2 Blue, I want to pick one of my favorite, which I think will be really strong in the set still, and is Cad Bane Talking Town.
Where are you putting it?
I'm putting it top 64.
Okay.
So
Tell us why that you think this is good enough to make it top 64. Take into account there's going to be over 2,000 players, guys. This is going to be the biggest Star Wars event happen.
100%. Yeah, there's so many factors that go into it, like how many people that have day 1 buy are going to play it, for example, because if no one plays it, then the chances of doing top 64 is lower. But purely from a potential perspective, you know, we have already seen a couple of Cad Bane topping these events that we were just looking at. And it's mainly because there's still so much value out of Ping and Tarkin Town in particular, especially if your opponent is cheating out units by damaging them, and you can finish them off with Tarkin Town. But Cad Bane in particular got a couple of significant upgrades in unit. There's new cards like Aura Sing. It's a 2-cost 1/4 Underworld that is hidden, and it has a raid 2. So it comes down turn 1, does the ping, enables Tarkin Town, and then you can swing for 3 already turn 2. And you know, things you can do is if your opponent is playing a 2/4, right? You can Tarkin Town that, and then if they play something else that has 4 health the next turn, you can do ping and then Aura Sync to take it away. So,
all right. So Ollie, let's go to deck 2 now. What do you want to talk about?
Deck 2. Well, I think we'll continue on the Tarkin Town train there, and go with one of the decks that I have pretty high on my personal considerations for the Galactics, and that is going to be Quinlan Voss.
Classic. All right. So, where is it on the
question?
screen?
Is where do I put him? Yeah.
Where do I find him?
It's somewhere. Yeah.
So, are you saying tops? Is it good enough to go top 8? Or
I'm gonna say top 64 as well. I'm not sure if this is one of the top 8 decks. I think it could be. It's kind of edging between for me.
I feel like I'm in the set 3 meta right now. What's going on? All right, so Quinlan Voss, lay it out to us. How is this make its way to?
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put it in top 8.
Ooh,
Come on.
I'm gonna back my own pick. It's a deck that
Twisted.
it's on my decks to consider for Galactic, so I gotta back it.
All right. Well,
Um,
tell us how it's going to go all the way to the top table.
So yeah, I think this deck is really well positioned. Very similar to Cad Bane, it has a lot of options to keep decks off the force in the early game. But it's also just able to close out the game generally just that little bit earlier than Cad Bane. And I think it's one of those decks that quite naturally has a playable matchup at least into everything in the room. Whilst I agree that something like Han2 Blue is probably the best deck at the moment, because we haven't had that many tournaments, and also because it's such a huge tournament as well, I think it's going to be very likely that you see a lot of different decks throughout playing on the day, and especially if you're having to play through day one as well. So I think that being able to pick a deck that is favorable into Han2 Blue is very strong, but I also think that you need to have good matchups into the rest of the meta as well. And I think Quinlan is able to do that with things like the discard package to help you against control. The Ping Tarkintown obviously helps you against aggro and force decks at the same time. And it's just generally like a very good deck at being able to control the board.
All right, sweet. So moving forward, Emmy, give me another leader that you think.
You have to pick one.
Okay.
I want to hear your pick.
Han2. Han2 is looking like one of the best decks in the format. It's going to be very widely represented, and there are a lot of very good players that will play the best decks if they are standout. I mean, even when the leader came out, right, we were future-proofing this thing, saying this is ever being able to play things out for one less. And as we were talking about earlier, we touched on the power creep. There's definitely a power creep happening, and that obviously goes all the way up. And the more the power creep happens, the better Han. Yeah, my opinion is, from what I've seen and what's been discussed, this guy is doing things a turn earlier than everyone else. Big, scary units. And it's very consistent. Yeah, Han2 is definitely going to get top 8. Question is how many will be there? But let's see. Shall we? I'm sure we'll look back at the results afterwards, and there'll be none.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do it.
All right. So
very well said. I think, as you both, we all chose old leaders. Let me pick a new leader then. I will go with. I'll tell you what. I will go with Mother Talzin. Is on the left, the blue villainy. There you go. Okay. And I guess I'm just taking leaders that I think have potential so far, but I will put her on top 64 as well.
Oh, okay. So,
even
explain what she does to the viewers at home that don't know.
Force Knight leader 3/7 deploying on 5 and says action. Use the force, give a unit -1/-1/-1 this phase, and when deployed on attack, it does the same. Give a unit -1/-1 for this phase. Now, the leader itself, I think it's decent. 3/7 for 5 as a stat is not too bad. I think the lists that we're seeing are, we've seen a green one, which, like Ollie said, I didn't see a green one before. I've been seeing Mother Talzin red lists that are really, really interesting.
What kind of style generally is it? Because obviously with Vigilance, there's normally a level of control, but is it trying to go fast with a 5 resource leader?
Yeah, I wouldn't say fast. Ollie, do you have you played much against it? The red blue, in my opinion, is a mid-range deck.
So I've actually played a couple of games as it because I was thinking about locking it in.
Nice.
No, I definitely agree with you that it's pretty mid-rangey. I've seen it described as the villain Quinlan, actually. It does a lot of very similar things in the sense of like it's trying to control the board. It just tries to kill all your units and then it turns everything into face.
Yeah.
But the main issue that I've noticed personally when I played it was like it had a couple of hand size issues towards the later game. So I was struggling to like close out games. Maybe my build needed more top end, like some crate dragons or something. I think there's also a lot of people who are running like a heavy hand control package with it, like main board pillage and stuff like that, which is also very interesting. So yeah, I think the villainy Quinlan analogy is a pretty good one. That it's kind of a mid-range board control-y deck that can kind of play into everything at the moment.
Nice. All right. Well,
Nice.
let's get cracking because we are slacking on time. Give me another example of a leader that you think get into this top board or not.
I'm gonna continue with the new leader train, and you know, Krish isn't here, so I got to back it while he's not. I'm gonna pick Kylo, and I'm gonna put it in top 64 because there's gonna be that one Kylo player, that one bold Indian Kylo player who's just gonna make it there.
I put him next to his lover, Kylo.
Perfect.
So why is it going to make it there? And don't just say Anakin 6-drop.
I mean, that's a pretty big read. That card's pretty good. Yeah, it's gonna make it there because Chris is maybe gonna play it. I don't know. I know that he's been working on a lot of different Kylo ideas, so I'm excited to see what he cooks up. I think the deck's really solid. I think Kylo, I mean, mainly green is gonna be the way it's played, right? But you get so much cycle throughout the front side leader skill, and then it's just like a bigger, better blue-green villainy leader into those slower decks. And I think like we're really in a mid-range format with Han2 Blue being the main deck, the deck to beat. So you really want to just go like much bigger than a leader like Kira at the moment, I think, to just get as much value as possible. And Kylo really gives you that edge, being able to like flip him and slap on like a craving power and just kill something and have a 7/7 or bigger sentinel that can then start hitting as well.
Makes sense. So how is its game into the usual suspects? Do you think it's going to be, because obviously blue villainy has a history of being pretty strong into mid-range.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think this is going to be kind of the main kind of blue villainy deck going out there, or do you think Kira will still be top dog?
I don't think it will be the most played one, but I think that it might be better than Kira. I'm not 100% sure because I haven't personally played the deck. But I think that Kira just like lost a lot of points with the fact that it's a 4/4 and everyone's targeting 4 health units at the moment with the new 2-mana 2/4s. And also things like Kiadi Mundi or the Itinerant Warrior being able to trade into it and coming down so much earlier than its actual flip.
Yeah.
I think that makes it lose a lot of points. I think Kylo will struggle into any aggro decks that are in the field, and I think there is some room for aggro decks to like just go under a lot of these mid-range decks as well. So it really depends on what the field ends up like and what the Kylo player matches into, because I do think there are a lot of bad matchups out there for it. But I think if you see the current top 8 and top 64 list we got going, I think Kylo has a good matchup into those 4 decks. I think once we get to like the Sabines and the Vader 4s, it might struggle a little bit though.
I'll tell you what, I'll put Kira in day 3. I don't think Kira is going to.
I actually agree with you there. I'm glad you said that because I was
definitely
uncertain.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, I was just saying I completely agree with you, but I wasn't sure enough in myself to make the call, you know.
That call, yeah. Well, it's all speculative right now.
Just so I'm curious. I'm guessing they have a very similar package, or is?
I think so, yeah. Other than the upgrades you'll play in Kylo, it's probably the same deck.
Nice.
it's just a different game plan, right? And as Ollie mentioned, that Kira stats are really, really badly positioned. Kira has gained Vader as a unit, very powerful unit, but I think people are realizing without giving it ambush, it doesn't drive an insane amount of value, and it just might be a little too slow. So I think my call for Kira is like best place is day 3.
Okay, well that sounds pretty good to me. I am going to go with one of the usual suspects and adopt this day, this new set theme. I think it can get to top 8. I think it's good enough. Yeah, I mean it's Sabine is a deadly deck, and with every set that comes out, even if it's 1 or 2 cards, we are seeing an improvement on its curve and sort of damage it can output. A lot of players have been playing Sabine pretty religiously, and we're talking top players. So yeah, in my opinion, it can also beat down Han Solo as well if Han doesn't get like the perfect curve, what it wants, and doesn't get the removal. Sabine can really overrun it. I'm assuming that because it's a Force deck, the Han deck generally plays 25 base.
Mm-hmm.
Or the 28 health, yeah.
Oh, 28 health, excuse me, yeah. So with that in mind, having any sort of level of lower life than 30 puts you at a disadvantage with the team because they're trying to hit 30 as soon as possible. So.
I'll tell you what then. Let's add in top 8 Vader yellow. I think even though everyone is, kind of preparing for it, and it's kind of known that it's the best, probably like space aggro deck right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna catch a lot of people off guard.
Sorry to say that Vader yellow isn't actually on here.
There's the green Vader. It's green, right?
Yeah, I can't see it. It should be.
Oh
yeah, I can't even see it either.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll put a placeholder.
Placeholder.
Nice.
And we'll put Boba Fett because Vader, from what I understand, is the new yellow villainy leader of choice.
And it means people who skip to the end of the video and don't listen will be completely confused as to what's happening.
Yeah, this should be the thumbnail, having Boba on in the top 8.
On top 8.
Like, we know something you don't. But yeah, no, I mean, from what I've seen in that deck, it is very, very, very strong. And you think it's real enough to get to top 8?
I think so. Yeah, I
think it a similar vibe to Sabine with the speed and stuff? Then,
yeah, it's. I think it has a little less gas than Sabine. Like it's more counterable. I think Sabine has way more reach in terms of like being able to close that small gap at the end. Like if you deal with the board with Sabine and you have 5 HP, they can always for a cause and close you out. Or they are a timely intervention wrecker to close you, whilst Vader doesn't have that like last reach, but the potential damage output and the fact combined with the fact that it's in space and this new set is ground focus, it just means that it's like the perfect storm. So I think
through nice and easily.
Yeah, I think it will slip through for sure, even though I'm sure a lot of players will be ready for it. Ollie, who's the 5th one in top 8, you think? Or is it gonna be just 4 leaders in top 8?
No, I'm gonna go out on a limb and put one of your favorites, Emmy. So I'm gonna go ahead and chuck Anakin. He's already picked it before I said Anakin.
It's good. It's really good.
That Force psychic ability.
Exactly. Like we've been saying this whole time, the 2 mana 2/4 is the new stat line for turn 1. And especially for these Force decks, you really want to be able to generate the Force. So you need to get attack off with it. Now with Anakin, if you play a 2-mana 2/4 and you have initiative, and they play a 2-mana 2/4, your 2-mana 2/4 just kills their one, and you get the Force, and then they can't really play the game because you just keep them off the Force the whole game.
Yeah.
So I think
That sounds horrendous.
I think a lot of the Force versus Force decks will come down to who just wins the dice roll. And I think Anakin is like the only leader that might change that, to be honest.
That's a bit sad that the balance of the Force is controlled by a dice roll.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that generally can be the game and the general way it goes with these hyper competitive formats of games. So,
especially when it's like such a similar matchup as well.
Better get practicing those dice rolls, guys, because that might win you the tournament.
Win you bigger at the casino.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, if you roll well in the day, you better get to the casino afterwards, and ironically, you'll be able to. But I'm gonna, in the interest of speed, I'm gonna chuck some leaders at you, and you guys are gonna just put them in, and I'm just gonna pick some regular old favorites. And I'm gonna start off with Ray. Do you think Ray has any chance? Seems to crop up in most methods. Where do you think she would?
I think people will cook with Ray. Ollie, you think?
Yeah, I'd be happy with day 3 for Ray. There's a chance she makes top 64, but
day 3 seems a bit more realistic.
Yeah,
I'll suggest one, Josh. I think, and we can maybe like couple them up, but I think like Bosk Blue and like Iden, maybe Blue. Like Hard Control.
Neither of which are on this list. I'm afraid, Emmy.
I see Iden and I see Bosk.
Oh, maybe I'm
at the top. Yeah, there you go. I think Bosk Control is not making it out of day 2.
Oh, it's really fallen off the map that much.
As well.
I mean, I love to hear it, but
yeah. It's
There's
not
so
that
much
the deck
value
got worse.
in these new Force decks.
Yeah, I think it's not that it gotten worse, but it's just like there's so much value, as Ollie says. Like Caddy Mundi draws you 2 cards. There is a new like a red 3 cost that makes discard a card. So some of the Han2 Blues are like, they have a really good discard package with that, Pillage, and Force Throw. So as a control player, you can't really hold on to too many cards. On top of that, like Pershing being a 0/5 now doesn't survive that much longer, like that long. So it might even not draw you a single card, Pershing, right now. So I just think, yeah. Ollie, would you agree, or I think it's too harsh?
No, I think so too. I also think there's a level with these hard control decks. This is a very personal take, but I really think that this is the biggest archetype that takes advantage of like worse players. I think that if you're a good player, a lot of the time hard control can be, as long as your deck is like functioning into it at least.
Yeah.
I think hard control is not that hard to play against. And I think a lot of the decks in that top bracket are not just functioning into hard control. I think they're really good into it.
All right. So let's keep cracking on. My personal favorite, Han 1. And I believe Alex Blandon, if he plays it. However,
Alex.
However, it has fallen off the map. Where would you guys place Glorious Leader now?
I might put him in day 2, honestly.
Ooh.
I think he really struggles with the Force Throw.
I hate to hear it. Yeah, but Force Throw is brutal. Just explain why, quickly, why Force Throw ruins the leader.
Just because your leader skill, it does put you really far ahead, but it taxes your hand so hard. And then Force Throw becomes so much more potent. You can't like hold 7 drops for your flip turn or anything. And they can often interrupt your flip turn because you need like oftentimes 2 cards in hand to really get a good advantage off of early flipping.
Yeah, so like, and 9 times out of 10 that is not the case unless you're playing cantrips, stuff that help you along. Which obviously isn't going to work in this meta because people will just start throwing Force units at you. Ollie,
I'm gonna chuck one on there.
Go on.
Can you put Gar Saxon in top 64? I'm
Hell yeah.
I'm pretty confident
Yeah.
he's solid.
Yeah, I mean, what reason why? Give us one reason why this is top 64 worthy.
I think the
Encompassing multiple
shields are
reasons.
really annoying to play against. Like, definitely it still has some rough matchups. Like, I think Quinlan and Cad will still be really tough for it. But I think the shields are really hard for a lot of the force decks to deal with early. I think it can also go really hard into space with like the Iden pilot. If you play like a turn one space unit into the Iden pilot, it can play Lurking TIE Phantom if you're in yellow. The green version can take really good advantage of Vader with ECL because it's already quite an aggressively pivoted deck. It doesn't mind playing ECL instead of Data Vault.
Definitely a
It's
got a
got a lot
growing
of
theme
options.
of vigilance
Yeah,
villainry going
villainy.
on. You know,
True.
we got 5 in the set, and it goes to show where your guys' minds go when playing this game,
Yeah.
and it disgusts me. I'm not gonna lie, it disgusts me.
Well, I'll give you another.
I was gonna
vigilance.
say Luke Skywalker, because obviously people are gonna be trying to get that promo. Still,
There will be people trying that, and there will be people probably doing pretty well. But I think day 2 is where
realistically,
they'll
we're going
probably
day 2.
Yeah.
end its run. The leader I wanted to pick was Kanan, which also
The new Kanan Yadas.
new Kanan, which I'm trying double blue and red and yellow, is not making it out of day 2. I think, unfortunately. I love the leader. Insane stats, comes out shielded. It's really good. It's one of the few leaders that can prevent the force throw kind of like I deal with your leader on flip situation. But it's just a bit too fair as far as I've seen so far. And yeah, I think they do.
What about
Palpatine.
the OG Palp brother?
This is another one of those really interesting ones. It's kind of similar to Kylo, where like if it runs into those good matchups, it will storm the tournament. And I think there are some good matchups throughout there. But I personally will say top 6. Because I think there will be one that hits those good matchups, but I think there's got to be like a Sabine or two that just takes it down before it hits top 8.
Sabine has always been its kryptonite and its weakness. So, but I mean, how big do you think Sabine will be? Just going back to, because obviously, I bigged it up. Do you think it's going to be popular?
I think it will definitely see some good play. I don't think it'll be massively popular, but it's also like tends to be a pretty reliable leader that a lot of people fall back on. So I'd imagine it would be in like maybe not like top 3 most represented, but maybe like top 5 most represented, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
it makes sense. All right, well, if you got one
give
more,
us,
Emmy.
yeah, give us a last like couple. Like one thing, one that I forgot to upload. I'm sorry, is the new Obi-Wan. We talked about him. I think the new Obi-Wan is not there.
No.
It's gonna be probably top 64 as well. Pick the last 2 ones, Josh, and we can try to position them.
Okay, so I was actually going to pick the new Thrawn leader because that bit played a bit, or the last Thrawn leader. I don't think we have that.
Yes. Let me see.
So,
It should be there. There's too many leaders already. That's a topic for another video. Is there too many leaders?
Well, they won't be. They won't be soon.
It is actually missing.
That's fine.
Sorry
I'm
about that.
going to put
one.
Sharut.
Chancellor Palpatine.
I'm going to do Sharut for Ollie.
Okay. Let's do Sharut and Palpatine.
Sharut's not getting out of day 1.
Oh, bro.
I love that guy, but yeah, he's not great anymore.
Poor Sharut. Okay. I'm going to do Finn
Chancellor
as well.
Palpatine.
Finn's going to be in the rush. He's not even going to make day 1, actually. No one's going to pick it. So, all right. So, which leader did you say you wanted me to add as a final?
Chancellor Palpatine. So, Chancellor Palpatine got a insane boost with insane boost. It's not insane boost, but the new Anakin that Ollie loves so much just works perfectly. This
that's pretty thematic.
someone without a skip will bring it day one. They will go on a crazy run. They will get
I
to
wonder who
day
you're
two.
talking about.
Yes. And then in day two, they're going to have a very unfortunate. Actually, no, I'm not talking about them because then I will be. Actually, I'll do that. Day three. I'll give day three. A Chancellor Palpatine. We believe in you. You know who you are.
Lucas, I
You're going to
guess.
do good.
To be unsubtle about it. But all right,
Exactly.
let's get some conclusions now because we're not really
Yeah.
putting any contenders. Do you think this is a fair list?
Yeah, I think this is solid.
Yeah, Obi-Wan, the new Obi-Wan, I think, could sneak in top 64. And I think these are pretty much like the leaders that people are considering. I'm sure there's going to be more. I'm sure we have 10 days. People are going to get like cooking, and we will see some.
Which deck's going to win? Let's put it out there now. Let's do our prediction. I'm going to say Han2 because I've got to go. I've got to go with Han. I've got to go with Han.
You say Han2. I'm gonna go Anakin.
Ooh,
I'm gonna go all in.
Okay, so
those are kind of my top two picks, so I'm gonna back myself and say Quinlan.
I'll say Cad Bane.
All right, so thank you very much, guys, for the wonderful chat and tier list. It's awesome. Like we said, guys, if you are still watching, thank you for checking out our videos. We have a lot more coming out. We'll do some fun stuff, worlds and Outer Rim tournaments that we're going to. So yeah, good luck.
Yeah, look out for those.
This is our last before the tournament?
We might do. We're definitely gonna do like a deck profile video, but yeah, we might not be able to get together.
Well, if we don't,
Chris will get a vlog going for Worlds as well.
Yes, we will steal some of that footage for our channel. You have your own channels. Thank you very much. However, thank you very much for watching, guys. It's been a real pleasure. You are going to Galactics. Good luck, and we hope that our videos have been insightful. So yeah.
Yeah, let us know what you think. By the way, like
argue with us. We love it.
Or
we love it.
Argue in the comments. Tell us our takes are trash. But yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. We'll see you all next.
See you later.